what's going on, everyone? I hope you're having a fantastic week. Now, first off, it is Wednesday, so of course, if you're in on Discord, we are actually going to be doing a film night in the Discord. So sometime later today, there's going to be a film night. We're all going to go in a chat room. We've got it all set up. No one can talk in there, so you don't have to worry about people talking during the film. And I think we're going to be watching some Mortal Kombat. So if you want to see the Mortal Kombat film, we're going to be watching that together, have a little get-together. And it's something we do in our Discord midweek for everyone in there that wants to join. So make sure you come and drop on if you want to do that. As always, the Discord link is going to be in the description of the video. But now we've got past all of that, you're obviously all here for my updated Technomancer guide. So first things first, you're going to notice that we have slightly different skills to our other one. And you can see that our armor has changed a little bit. So if we hop straight into it, the skills, of course, Blighted Rounds. It is, of course, a Blighted Round firepower build. Now we're using Scrapnel. And we're also using Blighted Turret as our third one. Now, if we go ahead and jump into the class tree, this has changed a little bit too. So we're going with the top tree, of course. You've got Impact Amplifier. Then the second one we grabbed is Sower of Decay. Then we've got Drill Coating. And then we actually drop down and we get Havoc Nexus, which is 15% increased critical damage. We then have Exposing Toxin and then Marked for Execution. These are all the same as last time. We then go for Nitrogen Capsules and then Impact Amplifier again. And then we grab Cannonade. Now, this is a new one. Activating ordnance skills increases weapon damage for you and all of your allies by 30% for 10 seconds. The reason I did this is because we're going straight for DPS. And this boosts, obviously, the whole DPS of your entire team. From there, again, we grab Nitrogen Capsules. This obviously decreases the range considered to be long range, which is obviously nice. We then get Purge, Impact Amplifier again. And then from there, of course, we grab the Assault Master because we want that Assault Rifle weapon damage. Then we get Assault Adept, again for the same reason, extra damage. Drill Coating, just because you pretty much need to take that one. And then we go down and we grab two sides of the power, which of course, same as last time, it increases damage from all sources by 15%, damage dealt by 20%. And then we grab Sharpshooter. Now on the old one, we took Grand Amplification. We haven't done that on this build. Instead, we've carried on and got UT-14 Clip. We then grab Purge, and we grab Empowering Antenna. Now, when you activate a Decay ability, you're going to increase your weapon damage for you and all of your party by 40%. Now, this actually stacks along with Cannonade, so you get a 70% weapon damage increase for 10 seconds. Which, of course, is very, very nice if you're in a party. You and your whole team are going to do an extra 70% weapon damage for 10 whole seconds. So it really does help with bursting down bosses and stuff like that, or bursting down elites. Now, from there, I'm going to show you the gear. You can see it's changed a little bit. We're looking quite nice. So first off, we've got the gun. This is of course the Earthborn Renegade's assault rifle. Now I do have a video on my page on how to get this, but it's actually been patched, so you can no longer get this assault rifle. If you don't have it, then I really do feel sorry for you. You can pretty much just look for another assault rifle that's similar. Try and get as high firepower as possible on that. This one of course comes with the tier 2 bone shrapnel as standard. And then we've gone ahead and instead of getting Killing Spree, I'm sure most of you have seen that Dark Sacrifice is actually now performing better than Killing Spree was after the patch. So we go ahead and put Dark Sacrifice on there instead of Killing Spree. That doesn't mean Killing Spree is bad. So if you still do have Killing Spree and you don't have Dark Sacrifice, then I would still use Killing Spree. It's still very, very OP. Just not as OP as Dark Sacrifice right now. The second gun that we use is Air to the Desert. I've switched the second mod out on it for Shadow Comet. I don't ever use this gun. I never use anything but my primary. But I thought if I'm going to have a mod on it, I might as well make it Shadow Comet. You can see that both of the mods on there, they're both shots. So every time I'm shooting someone, they're going to get Sandstorm over 5 seconds, which does 232,000 damage. And then obviously Shadow Comet, when you're shooting them again, deals 210,000 damage. So if I'm shooting anyone with this weapon, they're gonna get hit for at least 400,000 just from the mods alone. You'll also see that as 99,000 firepower. That I basically just have this on for the flex and because I think it looks quite nice. And then for the pistols, we have Torment and Agony. Again, I switched out Shadow Comet on those. You could put maybe Moaning Winds on this too. That would be a nice one. You could just switch to your pistol with Moaning Winds. It would activate. And you do, you know, a decent amount of damage. But for the most part, you're just going to use your primary weapon. Now, for the helmet, we did have Sergio's Beret. Now, that obviously has, I think it has cooldown reduction and skills life leech or something like that on it. So, those two aren't very good for a firepower build. So, we've actually switched that now to the Hood of the Space-Time Pioneer, which has, of course, bonus firepower, long range, and close range. Now, they're the 3 stats that you're looking for on your gear. You don't need anything else but firepower long range damage and close range damage. And then just like the beret, we've put Sharp Eye and Bloodlust on the helmet. So we've got exactly the same mods, we've just gained some long range damage and some close range damage. The chest piece is the exact same. Again, bonus firepower, long range and close range. And then the mods, we've got Dum Dum Bullets, which increases our weapon damage by 10%. So that's a flat DPS increase, which is of course very good because you don't have to do anything to get it. And then Radical Therapy, we're a blighted round build, so everything we shoot is going to get toxic put on it anyway. So we get basically a 15% extra damage boost for free. Next in line is the legs. We've got Waistcloth of the Shaman Warlord. Once again, every other piece as well has firepower, long range and close range. That's on every single piece of gear. And then we've gone ahead and put Captain Hunter on it, which increases your damage against elites by 25%. Of course, we're just going to melt through literally everything, but the elites are sometimes an issue. So with this, you're going to get 25% increased damage. You should be able to just melt them down, no problem. And it shouldn't be that hard anymore. Now, the second mod on this is for ammo regen. It's Toxic Lead, which basically gives you 40% of the ammo back in your magazine when you kill someone who's inflicted with Toxic. Toxic Lead is very good in solo play, but when I'm in a team, I really do struggle for ammo regen. That's mainly because of the desync or the lag, or if you're connecting to their servers in a different country, for example, it might be a bit laggy. There might be a lot of desync issues. So your Toxic Lead isn't actually going to replenish your ammo all of the time. Now, if you're in a team, what I would suggest changing Toxic Lead for is Trick Up the Sleeve. Now, this works a little bit differently. This basically means that once you have blighted rounds activated, literally anything you kill will give you 30% extra bullets back in your mag. Now, of course, it's 10% less than Toxic Lead, but when you're in a team, you can't guarantee that the enemy's going to have Toxic on it. And with the desync issues, Toxic Lead doesn't really work too well. I've found in team play, if you use Trick Up the Sleeve, it's going to benefit you much, much more, and you should have more uptime of your blighted round. But if you only play solo, I would say grab Toxic Lead. Toxic Lead far outperforms Trick Up the Sleeve, in my opinion, in solo play. I never have any problems with ammo regen with Toxic Lead when I'm playing solo. If you're doing, for example, Eye of the Storm, and you find yourself running out of ammo in your mag when you're trying to kill your Gak at the end, you may also, instead of both the ammo mods, you may also want to use Spare Mag. This basically makes it so you have 2 magazines of blighted rounds instead of 1. When you're killing your Gak, I found this very, very helpful in Eye of the Storm, because you can basically put a whole clip into his head, reload, and you're still going to have the blighted rounds up, and you can just keep pumping more bullets into his head. But if you're not doing Eye of the Storm, I would say, of course, Toxic Lead or Trick Up the Sleeve. For our hands, we've got Spirit Embalmer's Gloves. Once again, of course, bonus firepower, close range damage, and long range damage on these. Then we've gone ahead and put Euthanizer on them. This is pretty much one of the most needed mods on a build. This is what gets us hitting those crazy big numbers. You deal 25% more damage against enemies afflicted by Toxic. This, of course, does stack with Radical Therapy. So with both of those added together, you're going to get 40% extra damage. Now, you will see in the old video that we had Emergency Stance on our glove. I did a video yesterday. Some of you might have seen that, but that's basically not working for me right now. I'll get downed in the game when I'm in a team, and I'll go into the down but not out state, and then the Golem Armor will proc. So for me, it's procking too late, or it just sometimes doesn't proc at all. So I changed that out for mitigation from death. I also touched on this in a video yesterday, but it basically gives us 130,000 points of armor for 10 seconds, and it stacks up to 3 times. So it's just going to add to your survivability, and you're always going to be killing stuff whilst aiming down sights as a Technomancer, so it works hand in hand. You have to do literally nothing other than just keep playing, and you're going to get armor, you know, for free pretty much. Now, last but not least is Spirit Embalmer's Boots. Again, firepower, close range, and long range damage on there. Kept the crit stack on there. Critical shots build up a 5-second stacking effect that grants you 3,500 anomaly power and 7,700 firepower bonuses, but this stacks up to 5 times. Now, obviously, if you do 7,000 times 5, that's a lot of firepower. So, of course, we want that. We also have the Tier 1 mod, Critical Analysis, which increases our critical damage by 15%. Now, obviously, as a Technomancer, you're going to be aiming for the head 99% of the time. You're going to be trying to hit those crit spots. So having more critical damage is obviously always nice. That's pretty much it for the build. I've showed you the skills before, but basically, I'm going to explain why we have these. So Blighted Turret is what you're going to chuck out to get the 40% damage boost for you and your team. You're basically going to chuck that out on cooldown, and it also helps to put Toxic onto all of the enemies coming towards you. Obviously, when you get the Toxic put onto the enemies coming towards you, all of your other mods are going to basically activate, and you're going to be doing a lot more damage to the enemies that are afflicted with Toxic. And then Shrapnel, we need Shrapnel. so we can just throw it out every cooldown. It's some 22-second cooldown, which is quite a long one compared to the turret. But when you do both of them together, you get 70% damage increase for you and your whole team. It basically makes it so your blighted turret, you're going to have the damage boost from that 24/7, and then every now and then you're going to get the shrapnel damage added on top, which is another 30%, just to boost your DPS a little bit more. I would suggest using this mostly on bosses. You can chuck out the turret, you can chuck out the shrapnel, and then you can just blast rounds into the head until they die, and they should just flop over. But that's it for the build, guys. I thought I'd try and keep it short and sweet. Thank you guys very, very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully I'll see some of you tonight in the Discord for the movie night that we're doing. But other than that, guys, much love, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.